Medical imaging, for both diagnostic and therapy planning purposes, has moved from a process of identifying abnormalities to quantifying imaged anatomy. To help with identification and quantification, reconstructed images are now often going through post-processing algorithms, further changing the image and imaged volume characteristics. In addressing the new imaging techniques, I will discuss several phantoms and test objects for both CT and MR, along with accompanying automated analysis used to quantify the performance and limits of the imaging systems. Our line of CT phantoms are designed to meet the recommendations of the geometrical performance and the basic and advanced imaging performance quality control tests outlined in TG 233. The phantoms are intended to provide quantitative tests to measure the maximum performance of modern multi-slice scanners. The phantoms provide test objects to meet the imaging performance tests recommended in TG 233. These tests include CT number accuracy with a range of sensitometry targets, including lung foam and simulated bone density materials, signal uniformity and noise, high contrast resolution with both line pair gauges and point sources for quantitative MTF measurements, and low contrast resolution along with slice thickness and pixel spacing test objects. Our phantoms include a range of options beyond the standard CAT-FAN models to serve all CT technologies. We manufacture the MITA phantom for low contrast detectability quantification, referenced in TG 233, and are introducing this year the Corgi phantom, ideal for small cone beam CT systems. Beyond the basic image performance quality control testing available with these phantoms, we have a number of phantoms and accessories available for advanced testing. For example, the CAT-FAN 700 Phantom is available with a range of accessories, including inserts for testing image protocols with metal artifact compensating algorithms and a range of body annuli to simulate additional attenuation found in the patient population. The ATCM Phantom, developed in cooperation with researchers from the Karolinska Institute, assists CT operators in characterizing automatic tube current modulation performance. The Phantom is cast in a single piece from rugged CatForm uniformity material, allowing the signal noise to be measured in 3 different sized oval sections to demonstrate how well the ATCM compensates for variations in torso sizes and anatomical transitions. The Phantom also helps assess the effects of variations in patient alignment. The Phantom is designed to be scanned with a projection radiograph used by ATCM algorithms to estimate patient attenuation. Various scan parameters or phantom repositioning may be applied to assess the effects of changing parameters or patient positioning errors. The resulting CT image set can be assessed against a reference scan to calculate the normalized root mean square error of tube current curves and to provide visual evaluation of tube current fluctuation curves and image noise. I've touched on our phantom offerings related to TG233, and we'll circle back in a bit later with details on the automated analysis, but I will first turn to our phantoms for MR. In response to the increased use of MR for radiation therapy planning and treatment, reflected in the TG284 committee formation, we have focused development on phantoms to meet both the needed image quality metrics and ease of use for clinical workflow. The phantoms are available in head and 2 body sizes. The major advantage of these phantoms is that they combine high precision, 3-dimensional nonlinear distortion measurements, while at the same time providing a thorough check on the MR system, all from a single scan. Furthermore, actual clinical sequences can be scanned as the basis for the quality control, rather than a prescribed set of test scans. Additionally, a big challenge in 3D distortion measurements is covering large fields of view while still having a phantom light enough to be easily handled. The modular design of the body-sized MagFan RT solves this problem with a multi-module approach. Enabled by sophisticated analysis algorithms that allow the software to handle the complexities of bringing together the different physical modules. MR quality control for radiation therapy planning has more demanding requirements than does diagnostic radiology, particularly when it comes to matters of geometric fidelity. In addition, it must support the use of the scanner outside the traditional domain of radiology departments. The process must be efficient to perform and easy to interpret by physicists without a specialty in MR. And the quality metrics should be sensitive to both distortion and scanner failures, along with user and configuration errors. Again, MR quality control in radiation therapy planning has all the requirements that a diagnostic quality control protocol has, plus a much heavier emphasis on issues related to absolute geometry. Both the head and body size phantoms perform a diverse set of MR system checks and particularly excel at those tests that are especially critical to radiation therapy planning, that is, distortion and laser alignment. Slice thickness, resolution, especially edge spread function measurements, and signal uniformity and signal to noise ratio are general MR system checks. Beyond the main concern for quantification of geometric distortion, these measurements can be quite useful in alerting the clinical team to an issue. Take, for example, the image uniformity measurement. Image uniformity is a valuable way to detect RF coil errors, as well as test intensity correction software on a scanner. Phased array failures are the most common failure in an MR scanner, and these tests can detect errors that are often not caught by other tests, such as signal to noise ratio. Our automated analysis algorithms take advantage of what we refer to as virtual spheres. That is, the known areas across the phantom, void of test objects, to characterize uniformity across the entire body of the phantom, as opposed to a single area within the image series. Further, the analysis report output does not simply include a mean signal measurement, but what is displayed here in our analysis reports as the normalized standard deviation and normalized spread. The normalized standard deviation we define as the standard deviation of the signal over a spherical volume, divided by the mean of the signal. The second measurement, the normalized spread, is the spread of signal intensity, normalized by the mean signal intensity. The spread of the signal is defined as the average of the 10% brightest voxels in a volume minus the average of the 10% dimmest voxels in the same volume. This test is more sensitive to the extremes of the signal and hence can better detect the local disturbances in the signal associated with a failure in a phased array coil element. Take this clinical example from our collaborators at UCLA, caught by these available metrics. An element of the receive array failed, but the overall disturbance was not large enough to trigger a failure in the signal to noise ratio. The normalized spread test picked up the failure in the automated analysis and alerted the physicist. Just as the analysis of the MR phantom is critical in evaluating performance, TG233 notes the importance of assessing image quality using metrics that are more relevant to predicting the performance of a CT system and protocols for clinical imaging tasks. It further states that, quote, mathematical observer models are a powerful alternative to human observers for CT performance evaluation. These two ideas for objective image analysis with clinically relevant protocols have focused our development on hardware and software tools to meet these needs. Our Samari analysis platform removes the subjective human observer component from phantom image analysis, allowing the physicist to evaluate system performance and develop clinical imaging protocol procedures with objective data. The algorithms support clinically relevant protocols and the automated upload process, which does not require manual slice selection or identification of regions of interest, allows for frequent data collection. Numerical and graphical report output is displayed and can be customized to meet local, national, and international regulatory requirements. Pass warning fail criteria can be defined for each test variable, and alerts are automatically sent out to appropriate individuals. Data can be grouped, monitored over time, and used to set relevant tolerances and develop optimal clinical protocols. Longitudinal data is easily accessible for all quality metrics for long-term monitoring of each machine. Additional tools are available to display and flag changes to tolerances or processes. TG233 emphasizes that beyond achieving consistent image quality, optimizing image quality as a function of protocol using the test metrics allows balancing the competing demands of image quality and radiation dose. The SMARI analysis service includes advanced interface tools to query the data and compare across sites, machines, and protocols to provide clear metrics when determining clinical practices. This automated analysis service supports all the phantoms I've discussed today. Thank you for your time. Please visit our virtual booth or our website at any time to contact us with questions.